welcome to Sonofdel's live vlog on this, the 1st of October. It's been 6 or 7 weeks since I did my last vlog. Bits and bobs have been happening, and today's vlog consists of a unboxing of the Jigsaw box for September 2023 from Gibsons. It also includes a book review. It also includes another unboxing, but this one's extra special. This is my first unboxing of the Abominable Book Club horror book subscription service, and trust me, it's worth seeing. And then my last word, I'll also be telling you about what I've been doing since we last spoke, and I've got a Jigsaw Gallery, and the last word today is cancer, the big C itself. So anyway, coming up first, I've got the unboxing for the Gibsons puzzle subscription service for September 2023. Now, here we go, Gibsons Jigsaw puzzle subscription, September 2023. Now, although this isn't as good as the last one, the aquarium one, I really like this one. And I really like this one is because I've always had a fascination for sort of old fairgrounds, particularly things with like carousels and little cars on them and things like that. Now, this one is actually by an author called Steve Crisp, and he specialises in doing these sort of jigsaws. Now, this one's called Hastings Promenade. Now, if you know Hastings, fair enough, I've never been, so I can't really say. But I love this jigsaw because of how much detail's in it. If you have a look at how close, and you look at all the detail on the characters, and you've got the big wheel there in the background, and you've got the stalls selling various things. And I think it's a really beautiful jigsaw, I really do. I'm looking forward to doing that one, actually. That's going to be an absolute cracker. Again, 1,000 PCs. Again, Gibsons Jigsaw puzzle subscription service works out about £16 a month, but I think it works out at 14 if you have a 12-month subscription. I think it works out at 14. And you get 12 jigsaws, and at Christmas they throw in some free, they usually throw in a nice freebie. They also occasionally throw in freebies such as books, playing cards, that sort of stuff. They haven't done for a while, but I'm giving them a little bit of leeway, and I've got to stick with them for at least another 6 months anyway, because I've got to be with them 12 months, because I re-signed up for 12 months last time, and it's ever since then the jigsaws haven't been that good, but the last couple have been quite good. The one before this one was the aquarium one with all the fish, which I thought was brilliant, and then there's this one, which again I think is a really, really nice jigsaw. I'm looking forward to doing it, and it's called Hastings Promenade by Steve Crisp. And that is the Gibsons Jigsaw puzzle subscription, 1,000 piece puzzle for September 2023. Now, while we're on the subject of jigsaws, you remember last jigsaw or the jigsaw before, I shown you a set of jigsaws which I just had from Santoro, London, and they featured gorgeous, they do the gorgeous dolls, but these were all horoscopes. Libra, Cancer, Pisces, etc, etc, and I told you that I'd got the ones that I wanted at the moment. Now, the other day I bought this one. This isn't for me, this is for me, but it isn't for me. I bought it because my wife absolutely loves the gorgeous dolls. Now, I bought the jigsaw, Deb loves it and she wants me to do it for her, and it's called the Gorgeous Zodiacs puzzle, and again it's from Santoro, London, but look at the detail on this. Look at the detail on that. There are 12 different gorgeous dolls going all the way around it, all representing the signs of the zodiac. And it's absolutely stunning, the detail on it. If you look, if I bring it closer, look at the detail on the dolls. I'll turn it actually so you can see them all. Never thought of doing that. There you go, you can see all the dolls then. Sorry, it goes in and out of focus a little bit. I'm not the best at my balance. Oh, got some upside down on the reds there, so I can't really show you them. I can do it if I do it that way. There you go. And if I turn it, you'll see them again, and some are upside down again. But yeah, that's the gist, and there's 12 of them, and that was the Gorgeous Jigsaw puzzle, Zodiac puzzle, and I really, really love that. I think that's a fantastic jigsaw, and that will definitely be on a future vlog. Now, another jigsaw I picked up is an FX Schmidt one. There's an author called Colin Thompson. He does some absolutely fantastic artwork. He's in his 70s now, and he's absolutely brilliant. He's so skillful. And he does alphabet jigsaws. You'll see the letter A, and then everything on the puzzle begins with the letter A, and I've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I think. and I think I'm just missing one or two. But he's also done this one. I spotted the artwork easy. The artwork was so easy to spot. So I picked this one up. It's another Colin Thompson one. I knew it straight away. And as you can see, what it's called there, it's called Doors Open. And if you look at it, it's got various doors showing all different things. Sorry for the light shining on it. The sun has just decided to come out, believe it or not. Would you believe that? It's waited until I'm doing my vlog before the sun comes out and stops me from doing it properly. But as you can see, lots of lovely design on it. Weird and wonderful characters and all. There's some really cool stuff on there. I absolutely adore. I think his artwork is absolutely stunning. You'll get a chance, look him up on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. It's called Colin Thompson, and some of the artwork he does will have you laughing your head off. It's really good. It comes up with some weird little creatures with pink noses and all sorts of stuff. It's kind of stuff you'd sort of draw if you'd had a few, you know, a skinful or whatever. But yeah, that's my, obviously my puzzle subscription service was there for Gibsons, but also a couple of jigsaws which I bought. And I'm going to follow that now with my Jigsaw Gallery, so enjoy this. So as you can see, I've done a couple of 3 jigsaws this month. The last one I did was yesterday's, which was Dog Mania, and I've actually managed to pick up Cat Mania to go with it. Now I'm going to do my book review, and it's Richard Gadd's, and it's The Burn Street Haunting. Now, I'm a member of a thing called NetGalley, and if you want a chance to review books first hand, if you go on to NetGalley, put my teeth in, netgalley.com, and sign up. And literally you can, there's loads of books listed there, and you can actually apply to get them either sent to you or Kindle, whatever, and you get to read the book and do a review for it. Now I've just read this one by Richard Gadd's, and I thought it was really, really good. I mean, I've given it 4 stars out of 5, and it's The Burn Street Haunting. Spoiler alert, so if you want to read it, don't listen to what I'm about to say. Now he centres around the 1950s and 60s era, 60s up to 70s maybe, and what it says, it's a guy who basically he goes on the run because he's a little bit of a career criminal. He's not like a gun or mugging or anything like that. He's always been one of these criminals that's been able to get away with things, and people think it's because he's lucky, but it's not. It's because he can not read people's minds as such, but he can get an insight into things. He can see what's about to happen, if you like, but not in a foresight sort of way. It just comes through as feelings of different people. Anyway, he goes on the run and goes to this house at Burn Street, and he basically, it's about him being chased by inner demons. You think all the way through it, you think it's in his mind, you think that the things that he's imagining aren't real, but it's a lot deeper than that. There's a lot more insight into it. He is a lot more troubled than you think, but it also goes back to his childhood. Now, what I love about this book is not only is it creepy and will have your page turning, it's a really good read, is it's set before technology kicked in and advanced so much that this book would be obsolete. Because obviously now we've got the internet, you've got mobile phones, so people would be able to keep in touch. Now, we're going back to the days where literally if you stayed in a guest house, there was one phone right in the hallway that you could use. You had to put 10p's in or whatever. You know, we're talking a long time ago, and there was no internet, so you couldn't just go on the internet to check if something had happened or somebody had died or whatever. Now he's in this house, this house in Burn Street. Now what I love about it is that the people who are in it keep disappearing, but when they disappear, nobody's got no idea that they ever existed in the first place. The people who he's been talking to don't remember these people. They've never been there, they've never lived there, and it escalates and escalates and escalates, and in the end you find out it's this thing that's come back from somewhere dark, a dark void that he was sent to as a child because he had special abilities where I told you it could go into people's minds, sort of thing. And the government, it seems to be some sort of like a secret government agency, which has been done before. I will admit that has been done before, but this is very clever because not only does he go through all these experiments, he basically meets something when he goes travelling through all these different eons of time and everything, and it gets a sniff of him and it wants him, so it follows him and it basically plays with him and taunts him until his own guilt for things that have happened come back, and he can literally manifest this thing out of nothing. Now, with it being a good horror book, the reason I've given it 4 out of 5 is because it hasn't got a nicey ending. It isn't all wrapped up in cotton wool and the protagonist wins and it's all over. It's got a really, really surreal and creepy ending. Now, this guy, I don't know this Richard Ganz, I don't know him. I don't know any of his books or anything. I don't know whether it's his first book, but if it is, carry on writing because you are a really good author. It's atmospheric, it's dark, it's got characters in it, but it doesn't dwell on the characters. You sort of flit between different characters and different situations, and how he drags you along, you get to believe that these people have just literally disappeared with no trace that they've ever existed ever before. And he obviously meets a woman who he falls for, and she gets involved in it and all this, so it's quite convoluted. And he also gets involved with a London gangster. Sorry, I forgot to say it's set in the UK, which makes it even more of a pull for me, because I like books set in the UK because I can sort of picture the characters better, I can picture the dialogue, I can picture the situations and all that sort of stuff. But it's Richard Ganz and it's the Burn Street Haunting, and I would give it 4 out of 5. Now, on the subject of books, before I go on to my brilliant unboxing, I am going to tell you about a book I've just had. You'll see the picture come up in a minute. There you go. It is the Adrian Edmondson, whichever way you want to put it. It's his biography. It's called Berserker. I started it this morning. I'm already 75 pages through. It's brilliant so far. He's at boarding school at the moment, and all I will say is that this coming up now is this picture where I'm about to show you, as you can see now. This is the list of the books I want to read in this month, because obviously we've started on October, so I've got all of October, 31 days of it to read. There's all these books, there's 7 of them there, and I've set myself a bit of a challenge of reading them all. I'll see how I get on. I'll let you know on my vlogs how I'm doing each time I do a vlog. But I think seven books is good. And as you can see on this picture, you'll see these bookmarks either side that I bought myself, these lovely dragon bookmarks. Bookmarks? What am I about bookmarks? They're not bookmarks at all. They are, I can't think what you call them actually. Bookends, not bookmarks, bookends. These lovely dragon bookends, holding the books in the middle, as you can see. I bought them off Amazon. I treated myself out to some Amazon vouchers which I got from doing surveys. So yeah. Now, coming up next, I'm going to be telling you about my unboxing and wow, is it good. So, I've got a new unboxing for you folks. It's this one. It's the Abominable Book Club. Now, I'd never heard of this, and I stumbled upon it by accident when I was looking for a decent subscription service. And what you basically get is, you get that. As you can see, you get that. Now, the first thing I noticed, well, it gives you loads of treats, you see, because obviously when you read, you normally want to eat something, chew something, or something like that, you know, you're keeping yourself occupied. And they've sent me these are Tasty Mates Peaches and Cream flavour. They are gourmet gummy sweets. Now, I'm not massive on gourmet gummy sweets, but I'm going to give these a bash. They're peach. Now, the good thing about them is they're vegan. So my wife can have these as well. They're vegan, vegetarian, whatever you want to call it. Well, they're both actually vegan and vegetarian. Natural colours, gluten-free, and a percentage of the profit goes to charity. That's a good start. So that was what number 1 item in my... Well, It gets a lot better, trust me. Now this came and I thought, what on earth is this? And it's a selection of drinks to go with your reading. You've got a Lion's Percadilly coffee bag, deep and intense, a coffee bag. You've got a Nescafe cappuccino unsweetened. You've got a Pucker English breakfast organic tea. You've got a Pucker wild apple and cinnamon tea. And you've got an Cadbury's instant hot chocolate. So you're probably thinking, well, hang on, all this you could just pick up yourself. They are just the extras. Right, we'll come on to the good stuff now. Now what they do, they also send you something like this. Now what this is actually a second-hand book. Now they do say that they do put second-hand books in, which I don't mind, to be honest with you. And this second-hand book that I've got in my thingy is a really good book, actually. It's a Stephen King book, and as you can tell it's second-hand. You know, they don't make no qualms about that. This one is second-hand, and it's called The Cell. Now I've got this in hardback, but it's going to be nice to have it in paperback because I've got a lot of Stephen King books in paperback. So that came, and that was item number 3. There's more, there's a lot more. Now they came with 2 brand new horror books. Not heard of any of them, but I'm looking forward to reading both of them. The first one is called They Lurk, and it's 5 novellas by a guy called Ronald Malfi. And the names of the novellas are Skullbelly, The Separation, The Stranger, After the Fade, and Fierce. And that's the first book that was in there. So it's Ronald Malfi, 5 novellas, They Lurk. Now the second book is by an author called Chuck Tingle, who's won the Hugo Award. He's a Hugo Award finalist. He didn't win the award, he's a Hugo Award finalist. And it says, A Genuinely Terrifying Nightmare, and it's called Camp Damascus. It says, Love is real, demons are real, kill the demons. So that's my other horror book. You also get, good envelope that, isn't it? Nice envelope. Inside the envelope you get, how cool is this? Look at that. As you can see, Freddy Krueger, Edward Scissorhands, and I think it's called something like The Problem with Shaving. And if you look at it, it's brilliant. It's a lovely patch as well. It really is a nice patch. I can imagine you putting that as an emblem on something, or you could even have it on a jacket, you could have it on a poster, you could have it on anything. So that was another item that came in the box. And what I love about it is it's well packaged as well, so it's actually inside cardboard and inside an envelope, so that's that. I haven't finished yet. You get 2 bookmarks. The Abominable Book Club is just their one that they send anyway, but you get 2. And now this one I love, because that character there, if you're a horror fan, you'll know that is straight away. And it says, The Box. You opened it, we came, now you must come with us, taste our pleasure. Well, anybody knows that is a quote from Pinhead of Hellraiser, and I absolutely love that bookmark. It's fantastic. And last but not least, we have a letter from each of the authors. Each of the authors. And as you can see at the bottom there, they're signed. They're properly signed. Obviously that one's a what's it one. And it's basically a Greetings Buckaroos was the other one, and the other one. Basically they are letters from the authors to say, thank you for having this book. This is what I went through in order to write it, etc, etc. So that's that done. Wait a minute, I'm missing something. I know I'm missing something. There we go. You also get signed by the author to say it's an authentic book, and that's signed as well. The Abominable Book Club, and you get them as well. Now you get all that, which is 2 full-size books. Now bear in mind the average book now is 10 quid anyway. So you get 2 full-size brand new books, all those drinks, the treats, the patch, the second-hand book, the bookmarks, and this, all for £25. Now you tell me you can get that anywhere for £25. I think that's an absolute bargain, and it is definitely a book club. I actually wrote to them and said I was absolutely thrilled with this book this box when it came. I think it's well worth the money because, like I said, £20 is for 2 books anyway. You pay that for 2 brand new paperback books now. They are £9.99 each, paperback books are. And to actually have them now with the signatures of the authors as well, you know, that's really good. You can either put them obviously inside the books, or you can put them in a folder if you want. You know, you could have a folder full of all different signed items from the different people. So yeah, all that for £24.95. So that's 2 horror books. Just throw it on the floor. A bag full of goodies of drinks. So you're going to be having a nice drink while you're reading your book. A nice packet of sweeties, which are good because, like I say, vegan, vegetarian, they're not going to be too bad for you. You've got your bookmarks, including your pinhead one, which is my favourite bookmark ever. Them are bookmarks, and you also get your patch, and all that for £24.95. If you're interested in it, the details are below my vlog for the Abominable Book Club. It's 2 lads who run it. I think they're called Owen and Gav. They're the ones who run it, and this is my first box, but I will give this 9 out of 10 for a box subscription service, and that's very generous of me. And no, I'm not being paid. I've actually bought this out of my own money, so don't think that I've been gifted it or anything. I've told them I'm going to be doing a vlog about their book club because I was that impressed with it. And obviously they're a new book club. They've only been going a few months, so I want people to know about them because they don't pay a lot for advertising. They're not one of these ones a bit like, you know, the Fairy Loots or that with limited edition books with spray painted edges. They're not that. They are literally just 2 lads from Wales. I think they're from Pontypool, and they're called Owen and Gav, and they run the Abominable Book Club. So if you're interested, the details are below. Coming up next, I've got my last word. No, I haven't. I've got what I've been doing since I last spoke to you. Sorry, then I've got the last word. But coming up next, what we've been doing since I last spoke. Now, since I last spoke, what have I been doing? The weather hasn't been brilliant until we hit autumn. Once we hit autumn, for some reason, the weather perked up really good. And today, believe it or not, we've got a bright sunny day with blue sky, and it's probably about 17, 18 degrees, which is quite warm for this time of year. I've been doing jigsaws, as you can see. I've done a little bit of writing. I've done quite a lot of reading. But other than that, no, it's been a quiet August, really. August. It's been a quiet September, really. It's gone really, really quick as well. From the start all the way to the end. It doesn't seem like it's been over 4 weeks. And obviously now we're in the October month, so the build-up now is to Halloween. The one thing I have noticed, I must admit, I noticed it at the start of September, which is quite scary, is that Halloween and Christmas were laid out at the same time. You had Halloween one side of an aisle and Christmas the other side of an aisle, and I just thought that was a little bit, you know. Now, as I told you before, I do a lot of gaming, and I played a game for a while. It's a simulation game called Narcos, Narcos, and basically what you have to do, you have to build up like a cartel of gun running, drug dealing, but you build up this story. Now, I got a message off from the other day asking me, would I be interested in applying to become a character in the game? And I thought, hey, this sounds cool, I'll have a bit of this. So I went on and I started filling out the form, and it said, if you submit this form, we will require a $97 deposit. If you are not selected, you will get this back. I thought, okay, fair enough, yeah. If you are selected, you've got to pay a further $9,100. $900. You've got to pay basically $10,000 to be in a game. And I just thought, what? That's mad. Anyway, I didn't fill it in, as you can guess. I left it because obviously, no offence, but I am not paying $10,000 to be in a game that I could be taken out of any day, and the game could go down tomorrow, for all I know. It might be here one day and gone the next. And that's something I did want to talk about. I am absolutely amazed by how much these companies charge in-game for purchases. I mean, I've got a few on my phone that I play that are leisurely games that I just play. And every day I'll see that they'll offer you characters for 50, 60, 70 pounds. They'll offer you credits for another 30, 35 pounds. And I'm like, who pays this? who is really, really, how can I put this, gullible enough to pay all that money for a virtual, something virtual that you can never actually physically hold or physically own? I don't understand it. I can't get my head around it. I mean, I've been doing gaming for a long time, since I was about 8 years old. So we're talking the best part of 40 odd years I've been gaming. And I have never thought that that is a good way to get people to buy your stuff. Now I say what the best one is, where they don't have adverts, they don't have top-ups, because the worst thing is adverts that just keep popping up every time you complete a level. That's another thing. I will only play a game for 5 or 10 minutes. If the levels keep coming up, that every single level you get adverts at the end of them, I won't play them. No chance, I'll delete them. Because I value my time a bit more than that. Because some levels you can complete in 10 seconds, but if then you've got to watch another 60-second, 40-second advert, you are literally spending more time watching adverts than you are playing the game, and you're giving them the revenue from this. So I won't do that. I won't do that at all. The games I play are, yeah, they're laid back. One of my favourite ones is The Walking Dead All Stars. That's absolutely brilliant game. No adverts in it unless you want to watch them. It's up to you. If you want to watch them to get extra stuff, you can, but you don't have to. You can literally spend 20 minutes a day playing that game and then just go on it the following day and do the same. It is, I don't like games where you've got to sit on it for 20 minutes, then another 20 minutes, then another, and you end up being on that game for 6-7 hours. I'm not doing that. So I won't do that. I won't spend my time just doing that on games. So that's a waste of space to me. The family, yeah, my family have been absolutely great. My house not been too bad at all. I've got my hearing back. I'm well sorted. I'll just show you a quick video coming up. Just watch this for a minute. Thought I'd do this quick video of me before I am shaved and haircut. I'm having my haircut tomorrow. As you can see, it's a bit of a mess. And it needs a bit of work. The shave also will look like a right scruff. Yeah, so this is my before video. So you can see what I look like before I have the haircut and shave. And it doesn't look good, does it? Looks a bit grotty, a bit scruffy. Let's see what comes up next. Watch. And there we are. The hair is done. Sorry, it's sticking up a little bit. I've had to lie down, as you can tell. And the shave. So, yeah, a fair transformation. Thank you to, big shout out actually to Frankie. Let me get my finger out of the way. Frankie at RDS Hairdressing in Blackpool is absolutely brilliant. Nowhere I know you can go and have an haircut for just over a tenner. I don't know anywhere you can go and have that done. And bear in mind, when I go there, he washes it, dries it, cuts it, styles it. If I can't recommend him enough. If you ever get a chance and you're in Blackpool and you want your hair done, go to RDS Hairdressing. Mark's the owner. He's an absolutely lovely bloke. Oh, my fingers keep going in me. There you go. Yeah, as you can see, that was the before picture and the before video and the after video of me getting my hair cut at RDS Hairdressing in Blackpool. Now, RDS Hairdressing are absolutely fantastic. I can literally go in, make an appointment, and when I go in, they treat you really, really nice. You go in, they'll sit you down. They understand about my disabilities, they understand about my balance. They will literally walk me across to the chair, sit me in the chair, get me a cup of tea. They'll help me to go across to where my hair's got to be washed, etc. They will talk to me and keep me going. And when I was there this time, the guy who does my hair is called Frankie, and he's got a dog called Eric. And Eric literally is one of those dogs that's attuned to your emotions quite strongly. And I can sit there and he will literally, without me any prompting, he will come, jump up on my knee and curl up and stay there for the entire time I'm having my hair cut. Even though the hair's falling on him, even though Frankie uses the hairdryer to blow the hair off me, he will still stay there. He won't leave my side until I stand up and I'm going out the door. And I just think it's amazing that, you know, dogs can be like that. So I know that when I go get my hair cut, I'm not just going to get it cut and then come home and say, that was that. It's literally, it's very relaxing. The ambience is nice in there. They're both talkative, Frankie and Mark. That they are really, really nice people. If you ever get a chance and you want your hair doing by a professional, you won't go to RDS Hairdressing. Mark or Frankie, they are both really, really good at what they do. I would recommend them highly. I would definitely recommend them highly. I would give them 10 out of 10 for everything they do. They're brilliant. Get a chance, RDS Hairdressing in Blackpool. So yeah, that's been my 4 or 5 weeks. I've been watching Liverpool, and to be honest with you, I think they've played some absolutely fantastic football. How they keep coming back from behind, I don't know. Yesterday's game, I cannot believe that the referees made such a complete, monumental cock-up in a game in my entire life. At the score at 0-0, one of our players called Luis Diaz scored a fantastic goal. He broke from his own half, scored goal. They judged it to be offside. It wasn't offside, not by about 3 feet, nowhere near. But the video assistant referee never signalled to the referee that he was onside. So the goal was disallowed. Now, because of that, about 10 minutes later, one of our players got sent off. And then about 10 minutes after that, the other team scored and we were playing catch-up. Now, if we'd have had that goal allowed, I think the game would have completely changed. It would have been a totally different game. So I think that decision has possibly robbed us of being top of the league. And we're now fourth because we lost 2-1 in the 96th minute from an own goal. Because we were down to 9 men at that point. We completely... The refereeing decisions were shocking. They were absolutely shocking. You've got to watch it to believe it. And that's not sour grapes. That's the honest truth. If you watch Match of the Day, you'll see all the pundits have agreed. The Refereeing Association has even apologised and said they made a monumental cock-up and it should have been allowed, that goal. But it doesn't mean anything because we've lost. We've lost all our points. And yet we would have had... I think we'd have won. I think we'd have won if they'd have allowed that goal and we'd have been 1-0 up. I can't see any reason why we'd have lost. I really can't. Anyway, we're fourth in the league. We keep coming back from all these defeats, and I hope this doesn't change our season. Fingers crossed, because we're fourth, but we're only 2 points behind the leaders. And if we'd have been allowed to win yesterday, we'd have actually been top. We'd have been top of the league, which is a damn shame. But you know, you can't do nothing about it. They're making these mistakes, and they're costing teams. And at the end of the day, it could cost us the league. At the end of the season, if we lose by 2 points, knowing that those 3 points could have won us the league, it'll be a kick in the teeth. It really will. It really will be a kick in the teeth. Anyway, coming up, my last word, and the last word today is cancer. Right, now you might be wondering why my last word is cancer. Now, cancer affects loads and loads of people. It's affected a lot of my family and my life. My nan, my granddad, me aunties, I've had uncles, friends, family, all sorts pass away from it. But this year it's hit home very, very close because my own wife got diagnosed with breast cancer earlier this year. And for the last 5-6 months she's been going to chemotherapy and other treatment as well, having to have her bloods taken every week, etc, etc. Now, the cancer she had was breast cancer, and the good news is the treatment is working really well. She did start off with a 7 centimetre tumour. It is now down to 2.5. The chemotherapy seems to be working, and what I love about it, and I've got to say her praises, her attitude to it has been absolutely phenomenal. She has not let it get her down. She has not let it rule her life and ruin her life at all. Yes, she's taken extra precautions. Of course she will have, you know, what you can eat, etc, etc, what you can do. But in her own state of mind, it's as if there's been nothing there. She's just been absolutely fantastic with it. She hasn't been any different. She hasn't wanted people to treat her any different. She doesn't want sympathy. She hates sympathy with a vengeance. And I think, to be honest with you, it's a real eye-opener because obviously you hear about cancer, you hear about family having it, your friends, etc, etc. But when it's in the same house as you, it sort of hits home quite hard. And I think her attitude to it, how positive she's been, has helped me to cope with it. Because you might think, yeah, but what have you got to cope with? You haven't got it. You wouldn't know unless you live with somebody who's been diagnosed with it, because you are terrified for them, if you like, and at the same time terrified yourself. And because of her attitude, because of the way she's literally gone through it and said, it's just one of them things, I've just got to have the treatment and what have you, then I've been okay with it. I've been absolutely fine with it. You know, we've just literally gone to the treatments. I go with her every treatment she goes. I've only missed a couple, and that's because they've been 6 or 7 hour treatments and she hasn't wanted me to stay at the hospital. But if her treatment is only 2 or 3 hours, when she goes in for a chemotherapy, I'll go and wait in the waiting area at the front of the hospital and have a costa or something, or take a book to read, or play on my phone. I will stay. I will literally stay. I won't be any further than a couple of 5-minute walk from where she is. And that's just how I am. It's nothing to do with the fact I've got to do it. I mean, as Deb said to me, you know, I can go home any time. I don't have to stay. I don't have to stay. I want to stay. I want to stay, you know, because at the end of the day, she's the most important thing that's ever happened to me in my life. And I want to know that I am there if she needs me. Now, if I'm 5 mile away or 4 mile away, whatever it is, at home, I'm not close to her, you know, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Now, obviously, we're coming up to a time where after a treatment, she's got to go in for an operation, and if she does, she's going to be in the hospital for probably 4 or 5 days, maybe a week. I don't know. So I will then have to get used to being on my own. But last time when she was in hospital and she had her appendix, which was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, yeah, 2 years ago. At night time, I couldn't even sleep in our bed without it. I literally slept on the sofa. I couldn't sleep in our bed without it. That's how strange it was. So I can understand these people who say, you know, that they can't sleep if their partner isn't there. Now, on the flip side of this, obviously you've got the fact that a lot of people, a lot of things that you wanted to do this year, we haven't been able to do. Now, every time we've got a car sitting outside, it's our car. But unfortunately, every time Deb goes through trying to do driving lessons, something comes along and stops it. It's as if something's saying, you will drive when we tell you ready to drive, because she was due to start driving lessons in May. And this is all when it all started, April, May time. And last year, or was it the year before? Again, the year before, she was due to start, and she had her appendix out, so she had to wait 8 to 10 weeks for that. And then she had a 3-month recovery period because it wasn't a straightforward appendix out and back home thing. So it seems to be something's always putting a wedge in the way. But I know she wants to learn to drive, she really does, and she will learn to drive. She's made it literally one of her main things she wants to do. It's a positive. But living with cancer, you get to see how other people are, because I go along to the ward and I see people, and I've never seen so many upbeat people. You expect a ward like that to be full of people who are faces down to the floor, morbid, moping around, and they're not. They are laughing and joking and telling stories and making the nurses laugh, and the nurses making them laugh, and it's like a community. It is not what we thought it would be. You know, I mean, I know Deb thought exactly the same. She thought when we first went, she didn't know what to expect. She didn't know whether it was going to be full of all sad people who literally, some had been told there was nothing they could do, others they were told yes they could treat it. And the good thing was with Deb especially, the first thing we asked was, is it treatable? And he just went, oh yes. There was no hesitation. Now we see an oncologist called Dr. Pavel Bezekny, and he is one of the most decent people I think I've ever met in my life, because not only is he an oncologist, but he really cares about each individual person he sees. He doesn't just see them as another patient. The amount of times where he's asked Deb if everything's all right and she said it's fine, he's looked at me and said, is she telling the truth? Because he can't believe how well she's doing. She's hardly had any side effects. The medication she's been taking is working. Yes, it knocks her drowsy and she gets tired for a few days, but other than that, she's hardly had any side effects from the chemotherapy, and that is a massive, massive thing. And I think a lot of it is to do with her attitude to it. I think if your attitude to it is positive, that's 50% of the battle to me. It's 50% of any battle. It was the same as me when I got diagnosed with CMT. I could have let it rule my life and say, right, they told me I was going to be in a wheelchair when I was 40. I'm in a wheelchair when I was 40. I'm 51, I'm still not in a wheelchair. I'm still defying them, because I'm not going to give in to it. I'm defined by more than just my condition, you know. And Deb's exactly the same. But yeah, so it's been a bit of a strange 6 months. But she's only got 2 sessions left now. One this Wednesday coming, and then one in 3 weeks' time. But a specialist is really impressed with her, really pleased with how everything's going. Everybody said she's doing really well. They keep telling her she looks really well. The only thing she's had really is her hair's fallen out. And as she turned around and said, it's only hair, it'll grow back. Again, positive attitude. You know, some people are like, oh no, my hair, oh no, what will I do? But Deb isn't like that. She just said, it's only hair, it'll grow back. And she, bear in mind, and you've seen in the picture, she used to have really lovely long hair. You know, so yeah, it's been a strange one. But what this is basically me saying is, stay positive, look for the positives in everything, because there will be some. I've recently written a poem for a friend of mine who's been going through a really bad time because she's been cheated on by her husband, and he's left her now, and she was falling apart. And I thought, no, that this person I know is stronger than this. And I wrote a poem called This Wall, and I sent it. I posted it on Facebook and said that it was about a certain person. I didn't mention her name because I didn't want to embarrass her, but I told her it was for her, and I messaged her and told her. And she said, literally, all of her friends have said, this is so spot on. This is you. This is you know, written for you. This person knows you. And I do know that. I do know it. I know she's a lot stronger than that. She's a lot stronger than some bloody bloke ruining her life for her. She'll get through it, mate, I tell you. And I tell you something, she'll be a lot stronger for it. Because I was, when I was in the same sort of boat, when my wife was doing the same on me. She cheated on me, I know she did. But I sort of was like falling apart. I was in pieces. Didn't know what to do. Thought my life was over and all that, but it wasn't. It wasn't. And I hate to say it, I do hate to say it, but she's now passed away anyway. She was only 46 when she passed away. And here I am at 51. So, I don't know, you know, it's one of them things. So that's the end of my vlog. We've done a nice jigsaw gallery, we've done a jigsaw unboxing, we've done a book subscription service, we've been talking about the big C cancer, and you've seen lots, we've talked about other stuff as well. So thank you for watching. You all take care. I've reached 850 subscribers now, which is massive for me, it really is. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy the content. If you have any suggestions for any content, please feel free. Only don't make it graphic or physical, because I'm not contorted. Bye for now, you all take care.